Hello and welcome to the Witch's Realm. I'm Andrea Franco, intuitive business mentor.
And I'm Amanda Root, mindset and manifestation mentor. We created this podcast as a safe space for women to connect and come out of the witch's closet and own their magic.
We discuss everything from business, pleasure, spell work, sex, wealth, and how to live a magically abundant as fuck life.
Yeah, get ready to tune in and get turned on. Episode 17.
No. Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Episode 17. All right. So, welcome back. We're probably not going to cut any of that because JJ never cuts it.
Welcome back, witches. He doesn't.
I know. And I'm like, we should start the episode like, welcome back, but you just hear our obnoxious conversations prior. So
Because I think JJ
forgets
listens
to
to
cut
that. I don't know.
I mean, he
do you
listens to
hear
it and he
us? But
thinks-
then he talks shit to us and he's like, I heard you guys talking shit about me.
Yeah, maybe he thinks it's funny and it's our karma that he doesn't cut it.
JJ,
Why don't
for the
you
love
cut our
of God,
beginning of our episode?
help a girl out here.
All right. Okay.
Welcome back, witches.
Welcome back. Okay, so last episode we said we were going to talk about two things. So I think we're going to see how this jives, and if one gets longer than the other, we'll just cut it and do another episode. And if we could do both of them, we will. That's my Virgo.
Yeah.
Talking. I have to do this.
Also, we got a question sent to our email, and it also pertains to the subject. So I think we can read that as well.
So today's topic is deepening the love within yourself and how your entire life can radically change when you decide to fully show up for yourself and love yourself deeper. Definitely shifted my life. And how important, how important your friend group is, your inner circle is, who you surround yourself with is, all of that. I had a good word for it. What do I call it? Inner cultivation?
Cultivating your inner circle.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what was the question?
We got a question that basically said, well, it was more like a statement, a comment. And it said, I really appreciate this podcast because a lot of my family refuses to talk about this kind of thing, and I don't have a lot of people that I can talk about this with, and it's like a really safe space to talk about it. So I think that kind of goes along with what you're saying about cultivating.
That's why I'm so
your
excited to
inner
have
circle.
retreats and events and stuff at my new house,
Yeah,
which I
because
can
then
finally announce because I finally posted it. I bought $1 million house.
Yay.
And we're going to have retreats at me and Amanda. Our first one is coming in June, so now I can like fully say it. And we're going to start like a local thing, and there's just like so much coming, and I'm like, my brain's like, and I'll finally like happily say like I have a boyfriend and I'm madly in love. I'm gonna say that too.
But that's the whole thing.
I have it all.
about having like surrounding yourself with people, cultivating your inner circle. That's how you create a space where you can really be yourself.
Yeah.
And that's why like I felt like it was so perfect that you were like, I think we should talk about this last week. And then we got this email from our listener Julie, and she was like, I have no one to talk to about this. So when you go, that's one of the things that people say, like, what do you do at these retreats? You meet other people who are
on
like
the same
you.
journey. Honestly, I will say, just like since we're jamming on retreats for a minute, that was like the pivotal events and retreats are why I'm here today. Like I will tell you that hands down, the first event I ever went to and retreats, like I knew that, and we can go into like the friend group stuff, like I felt for a long time like I didn't belong. And that's why I was so gun-ho on naming this with the word witch, right? But like even before that, even before I was like super witchy and spiritual, I just always felt like I did not belong. I have been bullied so many times. I've always, a lot in my life, used to be the girl that was like too much, too big, too loud, too wanting all of it. And like, so I would trigger women. They would either be jealous of me, hating on me. And this is just the fucking truth. You know, it is what it is. And I just felt like I don't belong anywhere. Like I want to heal myself. I want to do better. I'm celibate, sober, this, that. I'm definitely not celibate anymore. But all these things. And I felt like so many people around me made me feel like I was nuts. And so like these retreats and these spaces that I finally put myself into, I felt like I finally belonged. Like, I wasn't crazy.
Why did you feel like you belonged?
Because there were other people on the same fucking journey as me. And I don't think that's common. Like, I think that we are part of the like 1% of the world who is choosing to actively work on themselves and love themselves really, really deep. And like I said, I think a lot of people settle in life or just aren't willing or don't want to, don't want to do the work.
That makes me so sad.
It's
that
true.
Like you have had to go through that type of journey with like sisterhood. Like that's hard. Really sad. I honestly, like, I definitely, when I was younger.
Oh no, I went through it like 3 years ago when I decided this journey.
Until like high school. But
No,
I know.
Remember when I was a blogger in this state, like I like came up so fast, and then like people started like talking shit and like lying to me. And
anytime you have like
a quick come up,
or like people are just like kind of all eyes are on you.
I know.
I mean,
other
even
women
you
can't share the
purchasing
spotlight.
This house, like,
oh my god,
so many people have been
Can we
talking
say what just happened?
About
can I share that? How funny that was.
What?
So someone replied to my story and she was like, "Who's that?" And I replied back and I was like, "That's me." Like, what do you mean?
What happened?
And she was like, "Oh, sorry, my friend sent me this." So she like by accident replied to my story asking who I was. Mm-hmm. She meant to say this to her friend. Mm-hmm. And like my stories on Instagram right now, because I just like announced buying $1 million house. There are like 500 people extra looking at them today that I have no idea. Like they're from Milford, they're like all over, and like first of all, like I probably would be nosy too, but it's just funny. Like my whole life I dealt with people. People are texting my mom saying things like, people don't sometimes like someone.
Well, you really put yourself out there.
No,
too,
I do.
Though. Like you're.
But sometimes
posting
people
it.
hate on
like
things they don't understand.
A lot of people buy $1 million house and they don't post about it. Like
True.
you're open. You're opening yourself up for conversation.
Yeah.
Like when things are on social media, you're inviting comments.
You don't think people celebrate that stuff?
No, I don't think I don't think a lot of people celebrate themselves as much.
Yeah, and
as
somebody wrote on my shit today, like, that's tacky. I was like, bitch, go home. Like,
I don't think it's tacky. I
never had someone hate on me who's doing better than me.
But when you are successful, there's always people. I don't know. I just never get caught up in that. I don't care.
No, I don't care what anybody says about me. I'm just saying that like on the journey to cultivating an inner circle with people like you that like are on similar journeys, like I was often ostracized and made fun of, and I
just don't think you like found your people yet. It's like your vibe attracts your tribe. So like I think once you were vibing at this level, like,
well, I think that was the problem. And I think many people feel this way, right? When you're up leveling so fast, so much, you kind of like outgrow people really fast. And that was my issue. I would like go into a new friend group and I'd be like, great, blah, blah, blah. And then I would outgrow something and I would just kind of like to the next.
I have been blessed in this lifetime, honestly, with like the people that I am surrounded by. I feel like I am literally surrounded by such an amazing tribe of human beings in my professional life, in my friend life, in my family life, in my relationship. Like I honestly feel like now so lucky.
I have never been so blessed with the close friends that I have. And like, I think that now I've arrived at the people who are going to be like the people in my wedding and at my fucking baby shower. But I think it took me many years to get here.
Yeah. And it's always changing, like relationships are like anything else. They're cycles, they're cyclical. So friendships, like when you're going through that whole period, like when you do have kids, like it's hard to maintain friendships, but like, then you meet like a whole nother group of friends when you have
part of this, we're talking about like cultivating an inner circle. So do you feel like as you up leveled, as you came out as being a witch and stuff, do you feel like there's anybody you eliminated, or you think you've been blessed? Like, I think we have such polar opposite lives. It's kind of funny because like you found your love of your life at like 19 and I found mine at 29, and you have been, so you think
I feel like...
Have you got rid of people? Or is like pretty stable?
Yeah, no. I mean, well, that's not true. There's definitely people who have dropped out of my life, but Not really. I'm very, very defensive over like my energy. You know this. Like I'm very protective over my energy. So, no, I don't think. I just feel like over the last couple of years, with COVID, this like ridiculous world we've been living in for the past 2 years, like I'm just learning to be really grateful for the people that I have around me. I think I went through that whole like shedding of people a long time ago, a while ago. Like
Yeah. I mean, you're not that much older than me, though.
Yeah.
How many years?
I think I was like born 40. That's what my mom says.
Yeah. I was just going to say.
How many years older? I'm 37. How old are you?
I'm going to be 30. So you're like 7 years different.
Older, yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, I think that surrounding yourself with people who make you feel really good is important. When I walk into, I'm very, like we talked about being intentional with your time, right? Yeah. And all this like balance and having it all and all this stuff that we talked about a couple weeks ago. And it's really about filling your life intentionally with the things that you want. Like spend your time intentionally. So if I'm spending my time to be in a room full of people, like I want it to be where I'm energized by being in that room. I want to feel.
So do you feel like you had shifts? Because like I feel like I'm gonna let you talk first because I have a couple stories. But like, do you think that for the most part your inner circle has stayed the same for like years?
Yeah. I mean, I shed like I had a huge shedding probably like
last year,
10 years ago.
Wow, 10 years. Okay.
Yeah.
So maybe, yeah. All right. Yeah, I feel like I have the opposite experience. And maybe, you know what, I will say this. You're going to be like, oh my God. I feel like I was in a much lower place than you. I don't think you ever went as low as me. I know that's weird, but like I was like drinking heavily, like doing like, I don't know. I feel like I was in...
Well, we had different journeys.
Yeah, for sure. And I think that's why my friendships aligned with that then. Like I was friends with people who were like at the bar every weekend, right. Like didn't give a shit about themselves. Like we're like hot mess expressy. I feel like you and like the friend group drink, but like not at a level like that. Like I think you still maintained a lifestyle.
Yeah.
And I think that I will say I did not like... I was at one point like waitressing, like in between jobs, like quitting jobs because my boyfriend this and that. Like I think that's who I surrounded myself with for a while. So at every single time I started to up level, I would shed because when I got sober, most of the people that I was friends with didn't exactly fit in my life anymore. Not because there was any judgment on my end, but we had nothing in common anymore. Like every time we hung out, it was getting drunk or going to a bar.
Yeah.
And so it was like in the pursuit of a penis or something, you know what I mean? So like, and I feel like I don't even recognize that girl that I was anymore. Right. And so like, none of those people I have anything in common with anymore. So like I had to shed pretty much all of them. Right. And then as I started going into like entrepreneurship and stuff, I feel like there were some like catty, maybe like not nice women that I encountered that like didn't have like genuine intentions for me.
I feel like since we started this podcast and
I've shedded
and I've started like having like a presence online with readings and stuff, that my circle has expanded. I feel like I have made different friends that are...
Well, I'm talking about inner circle though.
Yeah, but I have like different circles.
Yeah.
I run in a few circles. Like I have a huge network. Huge.
Yeah,
that's something that I have been gifted in my life. Like I'm surrounded by a lot of people. I think that
I have like 10 different networks. There's like acquaintances, people that like, like clients, then there's this, then there's that. There's like, I think I have a massive network, but I'm talking about those people that like, if my phone rang right now, we'd have to stop this podcast because I got to go.
Yeah.
There's a handful. And you're one of them. Thank God you're sitting here. But I'm just saying that like, I'm talking like inner circle, like that cultivation. But no, I agree. Like some of the bloggers and different things that I did were just places I went. But I don't know. I feel like if I go back 5 years, I'm not friends with anyone besides you.
Yeah, but I feel like if you go forward 5 years,
I don't think my group is going to shift again. I don't.
I'll expand. It continuously,
I agree.
right?
But I think my inner circle right now is staying the way it is. Like, I think I finally reached.
You just never know.
The human I am.
You just never know.
I'm full expression.
I mean, I have literally experienced like a person that was like my right hand inner circle, like ripped out of my life in January.
Well, yeah, that was passing away.
You have no idea. And that's where I always crack up when I see that I don't know, my daughter like says it all the time, that Kourtney Kardashian thing where she's like, my vibe right now is just living life. That's literally how I feel.
I know, we're very different. Fucking You're basic. Flow and I'm a Virgo.
I just want to
I like to plan everything.
The people that bring positivity and light into my life. I'm in a place
I feel like my boyfriend is helping me with that a lot. He's very flow.
Well, I mean, you know, you have to flow. You never know. Your circle is going to change over and over and over and over and over and over. And just when you think it's not going to change, it's going to change again. I got news for you, babe.
Mm-hmm. So I would say that, like, going back to the self-love part, I think that the deeper that I loved myself, the higher standards I had for my inner circle and friendships. Because I think that there were points where I was like, wanting to be liked or accepted or whatever, where I settled or put up with things that I would just never now. Like, I feel like the inner circle that I have is just like so fucking solid and it's all reciprocity. In the past that it wasn't like that, but I think over the past year I have like fallen in love with myself in a way that like I just never have. Like, I could say for the first time ever, and like in no parts of my life am I settling, not in business.
Well, yeah, you're holding your standards higher. Like, that's the thing. You're holding friendships to a standard now, where in the past, like, maybe you didn't. And that's what I think a lot of people struggle with is boundaries.
Girls, I will say this as a fucking thing. Like, you're a little different, but I think for the most part, girls just want friends. And so they just want to like talk to people and be involved in friendships and like, so sometimes we don't hold that high fucking standard, and I think that shifted for me. Now I do.
Reciprocity is like, or you know, that's a big thing. Like, it's just, but at the same time, once you establish a level of trust with somebody, then it doesn't matter anymore. It's like you can't keep score. It's just like it's a two-way street. But there was something else that you said that I thought was interesting. It's like, I feel like with friendships, we grow and we change and we go through things. Mm-hmm. And those friendships have to evolve with us and change with us and ebb and flow.
And sometimes we out-evolve them.
Yeah. Or sometimes we go in different directions or whatever.
I feel like a couple of my closest friends over the past year or two, we went in very different directions.
But, you know, the self-love thing that you were talking about too, like that's
what
I wanted to say.
I didn't see that person wasn't really loving themselves. And now I feel like when I chose myself.
What do you mean?
I feel like some of my friends.
Wasn't loving themselves?
Some of my friends. Yeah. Chose paths that were like self-destructive or codependent or things that I can't energetically be around anymore. Right. Does that make sense?
Low vibe. Yeah.
Okay, I wasn't going to say that, but
okay, whatever.
Fine,
I call a spade a spade.
I'm just saying that I think that I'm very sensitive energetically too. So like I have called myself higher, so I kind of call my friends higher, but if they get lost in the sauce, I'm like, I don't want to be close-knit inner circle with someone who's like choosing their boyfriend every single day and has absolutely no life other than their boyfriend because they have such a codependent relationship that they can't function without him. Like, I feel like, then why are you friends with me? You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, you don't have time for me.
So the thing is, like, I think that once you, like, that's why this has not happened for me for a long time, because like once you've chosen have kids, like
okay, this makes sense.
The only thing that you really care about is like your family. So your friends become an extension. Like my friends have become an extension of my family. Like
You had kids a while ago now.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. All right. Maybe that's why we're on such different worlds.
Yeah. Once you start popping out them babies, I'm telling you, the mama life is just like it's like no other.
And then those friends are real, because once you have kids, you get to see who the fuck is a ride or
and
die.
those friends, they parent, like I parent the kids of my friends. These are my girls, like my village.
Yeah.
We had a baby shower for our last baby. This is our last baby. Like, we thought Connor was the last one. Then Darcy had a baby. Danielle's is the last baby of our group and our crew, I think. I mean, I guess you never know.
Yeah, you can't say that because you just said that before.
We had her shower, and there was so many moms like in our crew that came, and like it was just so beautiful to see just how women kind of flow together in a room when magic is happening. Like, when there's and that's what happens at retreats, right? It's the same thing. Like, you get that beautiful energy.
Oh my God, I love it. Like, I love hosting them more than anything in the world, and I still love going to them.
Yeah.
I don't think I'll ever outgrow that.
I know, I'm so excited for ours, the one
know.
we're going to.
I cannot wait
April
to go to that retreat together.
I have some really exciting weeks coming up. I'm excited.
You're going to Mexico. Are we not what are we doing?
I'm going to be off for a week.
So we need to double podcast.
Yeah, we need to double podcast.
Because we are doing good.
I know.
Mondays at 12, baby.
We are on a roll.
And we are not getting behind. I'm very proud of us.
No. But I wanted to talk about, you were talking about self-love. And this is something that I'm really working on right now. And
okay, tell us.
So
what is a one thing that
I accept
you think you
myself,
struggled with?
Okay.
Yeah.
I like know who I am.
Yep.
I'm very confident in who I am. That's not my problem. But like, loving myself is a little tricky for me. Like,
what parts do you
I
find?
put myself just like I deprioritize myself, like on this.
Do you think that's because you love helping people so much?
I think so. Yeah, I think that's
like
part of it.
You're lower on the totem pole.
The lowest, like,
Do you
in
think
my
that
mind.
comes with being a mom and stuff?
I think it was like that before,
Always, yeah.
but it just comes very naturally when you're a mom. It's like makes it,
Yeah.
it
An excuse.
magnifies it. Yeah, it's a really good excuse. But like, I've been really working on that lately.
What
for
things
me,
have you done that you feel like helped improve it?
Getting up earlier. Like, I really like to be up when the sun comes up now. Watching the sun come up is something. It's a gratitude practice that I do for me. You know, it's like time that I reflect on what I want to do that day and what I want to accomplish and what impact I want to have and what feelings I want to be in. You know, it's hard to love yourself truly. It really is. It's not an easy task to just be like, oh, I love everything about myself. There's parts of me that I think I've always wanted to change. And I think it's natural to look at yourself in that way, like to look in the mirror and want to change something, or look at yourself internally and want to be better. Like, that's, I think that's part of my personality too. Like, I always just like want to be better. So
I think I'm a whore for self-improvement.
Yeah. Same.
But I think that self-love goes deeper.
It does. For me, it's been like committing to things for myself and showing up for me. So like, when I sign up for a Pilates class, I've been going to Pilates at Milford Pilates Center, Pilates Center Milford. I'm obsessed. Reformer machine, like, obsessed. Just the simple act of making the appointment and showing up there is like showing my self-respect.
Yeah.
Like, I respect my body and my mind and the connection with myself enough to like show up here and not make excuses or do something else. Like, a lot of times I will just be like, you know what, I have this to do or that. I'm a busy person.
Yeah.
Taking time for me is like hard. But yeah, and it feels really good. Really good.
Yeah, I think that for a while, I don't know, I feel like I'm a projector, so I'm like a lazy heart human, and so I feel like I spend a lot of time on me. But I think one of the things that radically changed my life was, one, letting go of alcohol to the way I eat. I think that like getting on like factor meals, like losing weight, like I think that my body and my temple have been the deepest. But I think it even goes deeper than that. Like when I started working on my self-concept, and every day I would say like, I am a queen, I am loved. And like, I started doing like mirror work. I started like, it was like I was in a relationship with me.
Yeah, that's how I feel when I do like my sunrise routine. Like I usually go in the bathroom and do like my skincare stuff. And
you're like just looking at yourself being like, I'm
looking
the
at myself
shit.
in the mirror, and I'm like,
I'm the shit.
We're going to do this today. Yeah. You know,
I love me.
I do. I'm proud of me, you know, like I really am. And I've got to be really kind to myself. Like sometimes I'm like a real dick to myself.
Yeah. I think that self-improvement junkies can get dickish to ourselves sometimes, because like we're like, oh, could have done better there, like, or missed the mark. And I think that sometimes, but I don't think that has to negate from the way we love ourselves, right?
No,
like
but I do notice people get like that with their spell work too. Like people that I work with on learning how to cast spells and write spells, they're like, they're so hard on themselves.
Yeah.
I could have done this so much better, or like picking it apart. It's like being kind to yourself. It sounds so simple.
I know,
but
and
it's a
not.
huge thing.
I think that a lot of people I see trauma response is busyness. I was actually in a relationship with someone like that, where it was like he never ever 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 sat with himself. He was either working or outside or just like doing something that kept his mind busy to avoid the inner work, to avoid the love that he was not giving himself. And I always felt really sorry for him. I did. I was like, deep down, I felt like
well, I think that's when you recognize that, when you feel exactly what you're saying, because like I was looking at myself in the mirror and I'm like, wow, like I look really sad. Like people were saying to me like, you look sad. And I was sad. Like I just went through some really fucked up shit. Like I have really been dealing with some serious grief. And that is, I'm like, I have to take care of myself. I have to say like, it's okay to be happy. You know, you don't have to be sad all the time. You need to keep living your life. Like people leave this earth all the time, and you have to keep living your life. Like it's just the way it is, you know.
I know that's a hard one, because I know there's a couple people that I know when they do pass that I'm gonna struggle really bad. But I agree, it's hard. It's like life doesn't stop for anyone.
Yeah,
and you have to keep living.
It's crazy.
Yeah,
and it's like you want it to stop for a minute.
You want it to stop for a minute.
And just, you know,
I think that same goes with like breakups and friendship losses. I know it's not the same as death, because death is final of that body and that soul. But I think that sometimes when we're at a loss, that is actually when we give up self-love the most.
Right.
And I think that's why you're recommitting.
Yeah, I had to,
because you're like,
and like you're saying with like your body, I've given up coffee, which is insane.
Yeah, you must be like high on life right now.
I don't even know how. I
Who
don't.
are
I
you?
don't even know. I don't know. It's been like 5 days.
I feel like when I gave up alcohol, like really, really gave it up, that was like a huge shift for me. Because I was like the wine and nighter.
Yeah. I haven't really been drinking so that's the thing. So like, okay.
I think I was an inspiration to that a little.
After my uncle died, that was July 2020. I mean, for like probably the first like 4 days, I mean, I was like schmammered so bad. I mean, I'm Irish.
I texted you when I was.
That was like a couple weeks after, but like I'm Irish. Like we that's what we do. So I got wasted for like 4 days, and then, you know, all the COVID stuff. Like I was drinking a lot. I don't know. I don't necessarily feel like the alcohol is a problem, but I just found like that it was just so easy for me to not feel. But then afterwards, the feelings that would come up were just terrible.
Yeah.
And so I just haven't really wanted to. And then with the coffee, I'm like, you know what? Why? Like, why?
I feel like, I know it's weird, but like purity was one of the things that you can laugh. I say this every time I get celibate. I find a king. Like every time, like I clear out my body in all of the ways, like everything massively up levels, because I feel like that's the ultimate devotion to loving ourselves, is like purifying our bodies and like our, like I feel like it almost purifies the soul.
I'm gonna have to re-purify after Mexico, because I will probably have some tequila there.
Yeah,
maybe. I don't know. It's been weird though. Like I had a glass of wine like 2 weeks ago, and I was like, ugh. I don't know. It's weird. It's really weird. I've never felt like this. I
haven't drank in over a year. I just celebrated a year. And I remember when I was having alcohol, one of the reasons why I stopped was, even if I had a glass, like sometimes I would feel off. I would feel like panicky. My body was telling me, we don't like this. We are not a fan. And I always say this, like, I feel like alcohol is like the devil's poison. Like, what, like, I'm not going to tell you I don't love wine. I would be lying on this podcast if I said, like, if it's like wine is something I thoroughly enjoyed, because I loved my glass of like cab with a steak, but I just felt like it was never an addition. Like, what does alcohol do for you when you drink it? Please tell me one good thing that it does, other than like numb and like it's fun. It's a good time. But there's no reason that any like, people drink that. Like, come on. No, it's a drain.
I mean, it's fun.
It's fun.
It's fun. Like, I've had so many.
It's not good for you.
No.
But it's fun. I'm not going to lie about that.
But sometimes it's not fun.
Oh, I've had some not fun.
And sometimes it's not fun the next day.
That was the worst. I will tell you, the last time I drank, in February 2021, I woke up I'll never forget this as long as I live. Because I drank, did I tell you this? Gin and tequila? No, fucked up. And
that's like a terrible idea.
No, I drank gin and Red Bull. What am I saying? Gin and Red Bull. And I thought I was going to be fine. Like I thought I was good. And I think that mix, but like the Red Bull. Anyway, so like 4 a.m. I wake up and I'm like, feel like I'm going to, like my heart's beating on my chest. And I text my mom.
Yeah.
And I was like, you need to come here. I'm dying. Like I thought I was dying.
Yeah, you thought you were dying.
I thought I was dying. And I was like, I've had enough. And my mom was like, you're worrying me. And that is the dumb shit I would do. Like literally like 5 years ago when I was like getting drunk and doing blow, she was like, I'm having a flashback. Like, what's going on? You haven't acted like this in so long. I was like, I swear, like I'm not drunk right now. It's 4 a.m. Like I fell asleep. I just woke back up. Like, cause I think she was concerned that I was like doing drugs or something. And I was like, no, I swear, like I haven't done any drugs. Like I'm just having a panic attack. Like I'm not drunk. I think she thought I was lying. It's kind of funny.
So
but my body was rejecting
the panic
it.
attacks have something to do with it, because like I haven't had a panic attack in years, and I had one, you know, shortly after the day
Drinking.
of Megan's funeral. I mean, I had a little wine that day, but I had a panic attack. And then I feel like when you have a panic attack, you don't want to drink.
I feel like the last couple times I drank, onset panic attacks, and I never had. So I had my first panic attack. I didn't know what that meant.
I also know women
at the end
start
of 2020
having panic attacks when they're hungover. A lot of my friends,
but I never knew what that was. Like the end of 2020, I had started having them after I had my first like mushroom trip, and I only had them either when I was around unsafe, but always drinking.
I told you not to do that.
Drinking, whatever. It opened up portals, but only drinking. I remember I was at a restaurant in Hartford with this guy that I was dating, and I was like, holy fuck. Like but when I have panic attacks, I don't want to be around anybody. So I feel like I'm unsafe around other humans and I need to go be alone.
Yeah.
But it only happens when I drink. And so I felt like that was my body telling me, like, stop doing that.
Yeah.
And I felt like that was the ultimate devotion of self-love, to give up the thing that everybody in society pretty much does.
I've also just been like telling my friends, like honestly, like I'm just like, you know what? I'm just like not okay right now.
Yeah.
You know, when I'm not okay.
Yeah.
Like
that I think used to be really hard for you. I think that is actually the ultimate self-love, is to say, I need help.
Yeah.
and I need a little support right now. I think that really changed my life when I like allowed my, like, I will give an instant, like, the way to deeper love me has been to let others know, you know, like when I'm feeling like me and my boyfriend were talking over the weekend and I was like having a lot of emotions, and I allowed to put my guard down and just be like, I'm scared. This is amazing. And he ended up like telling me he loved me, and I said it in return. And it was just like, when I've allowed my walls to come down is when I feel like I've loved myself and allow myself to love others the most. And I think that all our lives we spend putting up walls to protect ourselves. And that's actually the complete opposite of loving ourselves.
Yeah. And I feel like as a spiritual, like as a woman who's into, you know, some maybe like off the beaten path topics and like things like this, you are more like, you're almost more guarded and your defenses are more up because you're like I don't know. I feel like I've always been extra guarded because
you always
of
taught,
what
don't
I do.
trust nobody.
Trust no one. Yeah, I don't know, but I really have been trying to let my guard down and, you know, let people love
We've been
them.
talking for a while.
Yeah, it's a good topic.
Yeah.
I think who you surround yourself with is so important because it
I
really defines you.
I have to say that, like, I believe that statement. Like, you are the couple closest people to you, and I am like, just couldn't be happier in my life right now, like with my inner circle. Like, it is so important to me that the people around me are, you know, loving and supported and open and choosing a positive life for them. Like, I want to go around people and feel loved and supported and seen. That's my big one now. Not just like reciprocity, but like feeling like I can be all of myself, because I feel like there were so many places in the world that I felt like I'm too much, I'm too big, I'm too driven, I'm too. And I feel like for the first time in my life, I've arrived at my entire inner circle seeing me and celebrating me. Like, I feel so seen by my people. And I feel like so seen by my boyfriend. He's a part of my inner circle.
That's great.
And I think that it took me a very different journey from you, like similar with our love paths. But I couldn't be more proud of the absolute shit fucking show of a roller coaster that my inner circle life took. Because it took some low lows. And I feel like I've finally arrived. And I think that time is an illusion and age is just a number.
I'm like a friend collector. Like, I'm like,
we're very different.
Well, you know, I went to Brownies
and
they said make new friends, but keep the old one is silver and the other is gold. So I just kind of like live by that. I just feel like some people over the years, many
are afraid to start over and stuff.
Here's the thing. I'm going to be honest though. If people piss me off, they're fucking done. Like, that's just how I am. I
am the queen of swords if you fuck with me.
Same.
Chop,
so I will say that, like, I'm not afraid to just like someone.
I am not afraid to dead people.
Not like actually in real life. I like disclaimer. Not like actually.
I think they know what we're saying.
Life. Okay, whatever.
We're not murderers. Stop it. I am not afraid to cut people off. I actually think I'm the queen of cutting people off. Like, if they really, really, really fuck with me, I actually think it's not loving of self to keep people in your life just to like please them.
You can't control every single thing in your environment.
No.
So if you're finding yourself where you're like, I need to get away I need to get some people in my life that are like-minded and, you know, I'm craving community. This is what we wanted to talk about, is like how you can seek out. Yeah. So your online community, intuitive boss babe community, that connects a lot of women.
But I think if you're looking for like an inner circle thing, I really do love like joining programs.
Oh yeah.
And retreats and events. I think that I have most of my inner circle right now, other than you, I have actually met through coaching.
Yeah.
Either they've been a client, come to a retreat, met them at a retreat, done a business program with them. I think our industry is just so beautiful because when women decide to up level together, there's the connection.
Yeah. And when we rise, we all rise together. Yes. Honestly, like, I've noticed that the women around me are just lighting shit on fire. I know. And it just lights me up.
And that's the other thing is like, I just love celebrating. I love celebrating my clients, the humans around me, every milestone. Like, we only live once, you know, like celebrate every last fucking moment. Like, yeah, I'm celebrating $1 million house right now and a boyfriend, but like, I also feel like you remember, like I would celebrate the dumbest shit. Like I'd be like, oh my God, I remember, I will never, I just had a flashback of when I had my very first program and it was like $99. And I remember sitting on my bed being like, oh my God, I sold one, and texting my cousin Bobby and being like, I just made 99. I mean, fuck. Like in 2019, I sold like 10 of those and I made $1,000 on my ass in my bed selling a program that like I knew from the back of my hand because I always knew social media, and I thought it was the most money I've ever made. I remember I made a little over $1,000 and I was shitting myself, and I was so grateful then, and I celebrated so much then. And so I think that allowing yourself to love yourself through every part of your evolution.
I celebrate a breakfast where nobody cries. I do. I celebrate when everybody gets on the bus and I don't have to raise my voice. Like, you know, it doesn't even have to be that big.
You're so funny.
It's true.
I know.
It's true.
But I agree. And I think that's a level of self-love, is celebration and gratitude, and being like so amazed by every part of your life that you're cultivating.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that's how we keep getting to the next level. When I was like, oh my God, I'm so proud of me. Like, I did this little dumb thing, you know, like it ended up not being dumb, you know, like I think that's when things really started to pop off for me. Like now I'm like, holy fuck. Like, you know, I've been crying gratitude tears for like days now. You know, I've been like, holy shit. Like now the celebrations are $1 million houses, and I'm the man that I'm in love with.
Yawning.
I know I yawn too.
I don't think it's really even hit you though. I gotta be honest.
It hasn't.
I feel like it hasn't even really, like I don't.
Not until I fully move
I feel
in.
like we're going to be sitting on the couch. All the work is going to be done. And then you're going to be like, holy fucking
yeah, I know. Because so right now I'm demoing the master bath. We're doing painting. And we're ripping up the floors that are carpet and doing hardwood. So I'm not living there just yet. So we're just like, there's nothing there. I'm just
demoing. It still feels like it's like.
It's not mine.
Yeah.
But
it will be very soon.
Yeah, I'm so pumped. All right.
So yeah, keep those questions coming. I feel like the more
I feel like we just go on rants about like the best shit.
I don't even know what we just said.
That was good. I feel like we can talk about all the things.
Your vibe is your tribe.
Oh my God, I love it. All right. I love talking about loving yourself and cultivating inner circle, because now it's amazing. Don't be afraid to go all in. Don't be afraid to let people go. Don't be afraid to want it and have it all. That is my final closing number.
Okay.
And email us.
Number 17 in the books.
And email us and join the Intuitive Boss Babe community. And I think we're going to come out with a link for a wait list for next week's episode for maybe the retreat. I got to get on that.
Yeah, let's do that.
A wait list thing.
Yeah, because let's put our dates out there. We have a lot of interest.
I'm like, this shit's going to probably sell out pretty fast. So
I am so excited.
Love y'all. Catch you later.
Bye.